In this world, we've got battles. We've got struggles. It's like a whirlwind that just don't seem to stop. Pain from every angle, worry from every corner. It ain't easy, and it ain't meant to be. But here's the thing. You ain't got to do this alone. You've got a warrior on your side. Who might that be, you ask? It's God, the Almighty. You might feel like you're wading through deep water, current too strong, tide too high. But remember the words in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 2-3. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Our Lord has promised to be with us in the deep waters of our troubles, in the blazing fires of our trials. Now, I ain't saying that you won't face struggles or you won't feel pain. We're humans after all. But there's a difference between facing struggles alone and facing them with God. He's the rock you can lean on when your legs are too weak. He's the fortress you can run to when your enemies are too strong. Look at the story of Moses in Exodus 14, verse 14. Moses was leading a nation with a sea in front and a raging army behind. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place, but what does God say to Moses? The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. You see, God don't need our help to fight our battles. He just needs us to be still and trust in Him. And that's where faith comes in. Faith ain't just about believing in God. It's about believing that He can move mountains in your life. It's about believing that He can calm the storms that are raging in your heart. It's about believing that He can turn your mourning into dancing, your sorrow into joy. You've got to have faith even when the situation looks hopeless, especially when the situation looks hopeless, because that's when God does His best work. Remember the story of Lazarus in John 11, verse 43-44. Lazarus was dead, gone for 4 days, but God brought him back to life. Why? To show us that with Him, nothing is impossible. You might be wondering, how can I have faith when I'm hurting so bad? Let me tell you, faith is a choice. It's choosing to believe in God, even when the world is telling you not to. It's choosing to trust in His promises, even when your circumstances are telling you otherwise. It's choosing to stand still and let God fight your battles, even when your instincts are telling you to take matters into your own hands. Don't let your struggles define you. Don't let your pain control you. Don't let your battles consume you. Instead, let your faith in God define you. Let His love control you. Let His peace consume you. In the end, it's not about how big your struggles are. It's about how big your God is. And let me tell you, we serve a big God, a God who parted the Red Sea, a God who brought down the walls of Jericho, a God who conquered death on a cross. So let's stand still. Let's stand still and let God fight our battles. Let's stand still and let Him show us that with Him, nothing is impossible. Because we ain't alone in this fight. We've got a warrior on our side, and His name is God. This journey of faith ain't a sprint, it's a marathon. And just like in a marathon, there will be times when you want to give up, times when you feel like you can't take another step. But that's exactly when you need to lean on God the most. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, Jesus said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." You see, God ain't just there for the good times. He's there for the hard times too. He's there to carry you when you can't walk. He's there to hold you when you can't stand. And let's get one thing straight. God ain't some cosmic vending machine. You can't just put in a prayer and expect to get what you want. God ain't there to serve us. We're here to serve Him. But here's the beautiful thing about serving God. When you serve Him, when you put His will above your own, when you let Him fight your battles, that's when you find true peace. That's when you find true joy. That's when you find true fulfillment. Now, I ain't promising that life with God will be easy. In fact, I can guarantee you that it won't be. In the book of John, chapter 16, verse 33, Jesus said, "In the world you will have tribulation." But He didn't stop there. He went on to say, "But take heart, I have overcome the world." You see, with God on your side, you're on the winning team. No matter what battles you face, no matter what struggles you go through, you can take heart knowing that you're more than a conqueror through Him who loves you, as stated in Romans 8, verse 37. So stand still, and let God fight your battles. Stand still and let Him show you that with Him, all things are possible. Stand still and let Him turn your trials into testimonies, your mess into a message, your test into a testament of His faithfulness. And when you stand still, don't just stand there doing nothing. Stand there with expectation. Expect God to move. Expect Him to work. Expect Him to fight your battles and give you the victory. Because when you expect great things from God, you're not just believing in His ability, you're believing in His character. You're believing in His faithfulness. You're believing in his love for you. And let me tell you, God's love for you is beyond comprehension. It's beyond understanding. It's beyond anything this world can offer. So let that love guide you. Let that love strengthen you. Let that love empower you to stand still and let God fight your battles. Don't let your struggles steal your joy. Don't let your battles steal your peace. Don't let your pain steal your hope. Instead, let God be your joy. Let him be your peace. Let him be your hope. Stand still and let him fight your battles. So in the midst of all this chaos, all this struggle, all this pain, remember one thing: you ain't alone. You've got a warrior on your side, and his name is God. And there's still more to this journey of faith. In this journey of faith, you're going to face obstacles. You're going to face opposition. You're going to face battles that seem bigger than you. But remember what it says in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 15. The battle is not yours, but God's. So stand still. Let him take control. When you're up against the wall, when you're at the end of your rope, when you're in the middle of the battle, remember that you're not fighting alone. You've got the creator of the universe fighting for you. You've got the King of Kings and Lord of Lords on your side. Now, God doesn't promise to take away all our problems. He doesn't promise to make our life easy, but he does promise to be with us, to strengthen us, to help us, as said in Isaiah 41 verse 10. He promises to be our refuge and our strength, an ever-present help in trouble, as stated in Psalms 46 verse 1. You might be thinking, I'm not strong enough to face these battles. I'm not strong enough to overcome these struggles. And you're right, you're not. But God is, and his strength is made perfect in our weakness, as written in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. So don't rely on your own strength. Don't rely on your own understanding. Don't rely on your own abilities. Instead, rely on God. Rely on his strength. Rely on his understanding. Rely on his abilities. Because when you do, that's when you'll see miracles happen. That's when you'll see mountains move. That's when you'll see battles won. Stand still and let God do his thing. Stand still and watch him turn your setbacks into comebacks. Stand still and watch him turn your obstacles into opportunities. Stand still and watch him turn your trials into triumphs. Stand still and let God. Let him fight your battles. Let him carry your burdens. Let him heal your wounds. Because when you do, you'll realize that with God, nothing is impossible. You'll realize that with God, you can overcome anything. You'll realize that with God, you're more than a conqueror. And remember, God is not a man that he should lie, or a son of man that he should change his mind. As said in Numbers 23, verse 19, if he said it, he will do it. If he promised it, he will fulfill it. If he started it, he will finish it. So trust him, trust his timing, trust his process, trust his plan. In the end, the size of your battle doesn't matter. The size of your God does. And we serve a mighty big God, a God who is more than able to fight your battles and give you the victory. But this journey of faith doesn't end here. This journey of faith, it's not just about you. It's about everyone you encounter along the way. It's about showing them the love of God through your actions, your words, your life. It's about being a light in a world filled with darkness. Remember, in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, it says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven. It's not about shining your own light, but the light of God within you. It's not about fighting your own battles, but letting God fight them for you. And when you let God fight your battles, when you let his light shine through you, people will notice. They'll see something different in you. They'll see a peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that's unshakable, a love that's unfathomable. And they'll want to know where it comes from. They'll want to know the source of your strength, the source of your hope, the source of your joy. And that's when you tell them about God. That's when you tell them about his love, his grace, his mercy. That's when you tell them about his power to fight battles, his power to move mountains, his power to change lives. Stand still and let God use you. Stand still and let him work through you. Stand still and let him show his glory through your life. Because when you do, you're not just winning your own battles, you're helping others win theirs too. And here's the thing, when you're helping others, when you're serving others, when you're loving others, you're not just doing it for them. You're doing it for God. In the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40, Jesus said, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. So don't just stand still and let God fight your battles. Stand still and let him use you to fight battles for others. Stand still and let him use you to bring hope to the hopeless, to bring love to the loveless, to bring peace to the restless. Remember, you're not alone in this fight. You've got God on your side. And with him, you're more than a conqueror. With him, you're an overcomer. With him, you're a victor. So stand still and let God fight your battles. Stand still and let him shine through you. Stand still and let him do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think, according to his power that works in you. As said in Ephesians 3, verse 20. So as you continue on this journey, remember that you're never alone. You've got a God who loves you, a God who cares for you, a God who fights for you. Don't be afraid to lean on him. Don't be afraid to trust in him. Don't be afraid to stand still and let him fight your battles. And as you stand still, don't forget to look around. Don't forget to see the beauty in the struggle, the lesson in the trial, the blessing in the battle. Because when you do, you'll realize that it was all worth it. You'll realize that every battle was a stepping stone. Every struggle was a stepping stone. Every pain was a stepping stone to a closer relationship with God. And that, my friends, is the greatest victory of all. Not a victory over an earthly enemy, but a victory over fear, over doubt, over unbelief. A victory that brings you closer to God, closer to his love, closer to his peace. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, it says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." That's the ultimate reward of this journey of faith. The crown of life, a life that's filled with peace, filled with joy, filled with love, a life that's lived in the presence of God. So let's stand still. Let's stand still and let God fight our battles. Let's stand still and let him show us the way. Let's stand still and let him lead us to the crown of life. And remember, this journey ain't over. It's just the beginning. Because with God, there's always more. More love, more joy, more peace. More battles won, more victories claimed, more mountains moved. So stand still and let God. Let him be your guide, your strength, your shield. Let him be your warrior, your champion, your victor. Let him be your God. And that's the end of this chapter. But the journey of faith, the journey of standing still and letting God fight your battles, well, that journey continues. God bless you all.